Dax and BTS, what a collab no one saw coming. Wow. Welcome as we sieve into a jaw-breaking updates about your favorite stars BTS. The music industry lately. The music industry was abuzz with the news of J-Hope and Glorilla's collaboration. Fans were going wild on social media, sharing their excitement and anticipation for the new music. Dax, still riding the wave of inspiration, couldn't help but feel a sense of pride and admiration for the two artists. The creative process. As Dax delved deeper into the world of music production, he began to appreciate the creative process that went into crafting a song. He learned about the importance of melody, harmony, and rhythm, and how these elements came together to create a cohesive piece of music. The power of inspiration. Dax realized that inspiration was a powerful force in the creative process. When artists drew inspiration from their surroundings, experiences, and emotions, they were able to create music that resonated with others. He felt grateful for the inspiration he had found in J-Hope and Glorilla's collaboration. A new perspective. Dax meets BTS. Dax was starstruck when he met BTS for the first time. He couldn't believe he was about to collaborate with his idols. As he walked into the studio, he was awestruck by the group's charisma and energy. Wow, I'm actually meeting BTS, he stammered, trying to contain his excitement. Shocking the group with rap skills. But as soon as the music started, Dax transformed into a confident rapper, delivering sharp bars and complex rhymes that left BTS speechless. Whoa, you're really talented. Exclaimed, impressed by Dax's skills. The group was shocked by Dax's rap abilities, and their initial skepticism turned into admiration. You're a beast, Jimin added, nodding his head in approval. Dax's confidence and skill had won them over, and the collaboration was off to a great start. With their differences in style momentarily set aside, they began to create something special together. As Dax continued to explore the world of music, he gained a new perspective on the industry. He saw how artists from different genres and backgrounds could come together to create something unique and innovative. He realized that music was a universal language, capable of transcending borders and cultures. The future of music. Dax was excited to see what the future held for the music industry. He knew that new technologies and platforms would continue to emerge, changing the way music was created, distributed, and consumed. He was eager to be a part of this evolution, using his creativity and passion to make a lasting impact. The impact of collaboration. The collaboration between J-Hope and Glorilla had a profound impact on Dax's music. He began to experiment with new sounds and styles, pushing the boundaries of what was possible. He collaborated with other artists, learning from them and growing as a musician. A community of artists. Dax felt a sense of community with other artists, all working together to create something special. He saw how music brought people together, providing a common language and shared experience. He knew that he was part of something bigger than himself, a community that transcended genres and styles. Dax's musical journey continues, filled with twists and turns, ups and downs. But one thing is certain. Music will always be at the heart of his story, guiding him on his path and inspiring him to create something new and innovative. Dax and BTS. A collaborative dream come true. Dax, a rising star in the music industry, had always been a huge fan of BTS. When the opportunity arose to collaborate with the K-pop group, he jumped at the chance. The result was a fusion of styles, blending Dax's hip-hop sound with BTS's signature pop R&B sound. The track, Electric Dreams. The song, titled Electric Dreams, was a high-energy track that showcased the best of both worlds. Dax brought his sharp lyrics and catchy flow, while BTS added their signature harmonies and choreography. The music video was a visual feast, with neon lights and futuristic imagery that perfectly captured the song's themes of innovation and creativity. A match made in heaven. The collaboration was a match made in heaven, with both parties pushing each other to new heights. Dax was thrilled to work with his idols, and BTS was impressed by Dax's talent and work ethic. The result was a song that exceeded everyone's expectations, blending styles and genres in a way that was both fresh and exciting. Electric Dreams was a testament to the power of collaboration and the magic that happens when talented artists come together. BTS' secret meet with Jay-Z. The BTS members were gathered in a secluded mansion deep in the hills of Los Angeles. The air was thick with anticipation as they prepared for a secret meeting with none other than Jay-Z. The legendary rapper, entrepreneur, and music mogul had been a huge influence on the group, and they were both excited and nervous about the prospect of working with him. The group had been told very little about the purpose of the meeting, only that it was something big and that Jay-Z had a special project in mind for them. As they waited, they couldn't help but wonder what this meeting could be about. Would it be a new music collaboration, a business venture, or something entirely different? The possibilities were endless and the group's imaginations were running wild. As the clock struck midnight, the door to the mansion swung open and Jay-Z walked in, looking every bit the part of a hip-hop legend. He was dressed in a sleek black suit and sunglasses, and his presence commanded attention. The BTS members stood up as one and bowed deeply, showing respect to the man who had paved the way for so many artists. Jay-Z smiled and nodded in approval before taking a seat on the couch. He motioned for the group to join him and they sat down, nervously awaiting his words. The room was silent for a moment as Jay-Z collected his thoughts before speaking. "I've been watching your career for a while now, and I have to say I'm impressed. Your music, your message, your passion, it's all very inspiring," he said, his voice low and smooth. The BTS members exchanged nervous glances. They had always been huge fans of Jay-Z's work, and to have him acknowledge them in such a way was a dream come true. "But I didn't bring you here just to give you a compliment," Jay-Z continued. "There's something bigger at play here, something that I think could change the game for all of us." The BTS members leaned in, their curiosity piqued. What could Jay-Z possibly have in mind? As the night wore on, Jay-Z revealed his plan, a collaboration of epic proportions, a fusion of K-pop and hip-hop that would shake the very foundations of the music industry. The BTS members listened in awe as Jay-Z outlined his vision for a project that would bring together artists from different genres and cultures to create something truly groundbreaking. The group was hesitant at first, unsure if they were ready for such a massive undertaking, but Jay-Z's enthusiasm was infectious and soon they found themselves caught up in his vision. They spent the rest of the night brainstorming ideas, throwing around concepts and possibilities. The energy in the room was electric and the group's excitement was palpable. As the sun began to rise over the hills of Los Angeles, the meeting came to a close. Jay-Z stood up and smiled. "We're going to change the world together," he said, and the BTS members nodded in agreement. They knew that they were on the cusp of something big. Something that could take their music to new heights and introduce them to a whole new audience. The group left the mansion that morning feeling inspired and motivated. They knew that they had a long road ahead of them, but they were ready for the challenge. They were ready to take on the world and make some noise. As they walked away from the mansion, they couldn't help but feel a sense of pride and purpose. They were part of something bigger than themselves, something that could transcend borders and genres. The BTS members spent the next few days in a creative frenzy working on their parts for the project. They poured their hearts and souls into the music, determined to make it something special, and when they finally presented their work to Jay-Z, he was blown away by their talent and dedication. The project was coming together perfectly and the group was excited to see the final result. They knew that this was just the beginning of something amazing, something that would leave a lasting impact on the music industry and beyond. As the days turned into weeks, the anticipation grew. The BTS members were working tirelessly to perfect their craft, and Jay-Z was overseeing every detail, making sure that everything was just right. The pressure was mounting, but the group was ready. They were ready to put on a show and make their mark on the world. The night of the project's release finally arrived, and the BTS members were nervous but excited. They had worked hard on this project and they knew that it was going to be huge. The music dropped like a bombshell, and the world was taken aback by the sheer magnitude of the collaboration. It was a fusion of sounds and styles that had never been heard before, and it was a testament to the power of creativity and collaboration. The project was a massive success and the BTS members were overjoyed. They had taken a risk and it had paid off in a big way. They had worked with Jay-Z and had created something truly special, something that would be remembered for years to come. As the group looked out at the sea of fans cheering their name, they knew that this was just the beginning. They had proven that they were capable of greatness and they were ready to take on the world. They were ready to make their mark and leave a lasting legacy. The BTS members went their separate ways after the project's release, each one basking in the glory of their success, but they knew that this was just the start of something. BTS have had a complete turnaround after their encounter with legendary Jay-Z.